welcome to Meow Mix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Jerry.
The season is almost here. We
So
are a
close.
mere 17 days away as of the recording of this podcast. The old Jake Delhomme, as I like to say. Uh, we are going to be talking about the final preseason game, and we're going to give you our 53-man roster predictions, although mine is 54. Hope that's okay.
Well, I have a few spots that I
Yeah,
have
few
specially
spots.
designated.
Yeah, okay. Good. I'm glad that we both cheated. Um, before we kick off with all of those things, though, there's I would say a fairly significant roster move that occurred today, Jerry.
Yes, it did. The Carolina Panthers traded for Michael Jackson. Yes, you heard that right. Not the one that does all the dancing. No.
Well, he's dead.
Well, that's a little sad.
It is sad. Yeah, complicated figure. We're not going to get into it here, but uh, very good artist, and this isn't a Michael Jackson podcast. I like Michael Jackson. We'll just say that. Yeah, we go from Lamar Jackson to Michael Jackson. So two guys whose names are much more famous than they are.
Yes. And the Panthers trade away their 7th-round draft pick. I can't think of the
Michael
linebacker's
Barrett.
name. I'm sorry, Michael Barrett. We go. Michael Barrett in exchange. I feel like this is a fair trade for the Panthers and for the Seattle Seahawks because I don't think Michael Jackson was going to make their roster. It sounds like he was pretty down far on the depth chart, and they have some young guys they like a little bit more. And Michael Barrett, I hate saying this, he didn't splash during preseason, so I could see him being one of the cut/practice squad guys. So you get somebody in here with some starting potential, and I think it's a smart move on both sides.
Well, great move for the Panthers, I think, just because they definitely needed another body at corner. This is a guy who has had success in the league. Had a pretty good season last year. I mean, PFF standards, he's in the 70s. So that's probably better than outside of J.C. Horn, anybody we had last year at corner.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, Michael Barrett, I mean, I think we both liked that pick in the 7th round. That he was a really good player at Michigan, but I don't think there was a spot for him on the team. So this is just a win for the Panthers, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're getting somebody who has starting experience. I wouldn't say I'm a 100% starter, but he is also a 6'1", 210 corner. He's not a small guy. I think he's more along the lines of what J.C. Horn is. And Evero, I think, likes that type of corner a little bit more than the smaller guys, but he'll fit him in. And I like the pick. I like the trade. I like it for Barrett, too, because he's going to go to a place that's going to keep him on the 53 because they just traded for him.
Likely, yep.
And I think he could succeed there. I think he could have succeeded here, but it just... When I was doing my 53-man roster, I was looking, I was like, I didn't really find a spot I could put him in.
Yeah, same here. He was among 2 or 3 guys I was considering for the final spot there. But I mean, I think he's talented. And again, I'm not saying that the Panthers got a bona fide starter here, but I think for the corner position, which we've been harping on for the last 4 or 5 months as being the weakest on the team in terms of depth, this is a really good move. I mean, they weren't going to get Gilmore. They're, probably not going to be able to spend a lot of money on anybody coming in at that spot. So it's kind of a win. It seems like a win-win trade. Yeah. But I think the Panthers got the better end of it in the sense of this year, who's going to get the more playing time, Barrett or Jackson. I think it's going to be Jackson.
Correct. And obviously Seattle had their eyes on him, hoping that either A, he would be released by us, or we're trying to sign him out in the free agency of undrafted free agency. So,
yeah, I mean, potentially. Certainly Dan Morgan has a lot of ties to Seattle, as does Canales. So it could have just been one of those things where, hey, we like Barrett, and we're probably going to get rid of Jackson. Do you guys want to do something? So it worked out,
Yeah,
and I'm glad he's on the team. We'll likely see him Saturday, in
I
his
hope so.
first action with the team. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Uh, Speaking about Saturday, let's just jump right into our preseason preview, I guess we'll call it, because
Yeah,
it's not really much of anything.
it's a bite-sized preview. Yeah, I mean the biggest news coming out. I don't know if it came out today or yesterday, but that the starters are going to be playing at least a series or two, from what Canales said. Um, the Bills starters are not going to be playing, so it's the Panther starters will have an opportunity to hopefully go down the field and score. In my opinion, if they go down, they score on the first series, yank them out.
Yeah,
Right after that, just give everybody some good momentum and feelings, and heading into the season. But I'm happy that they're going to play. I'm excited to see them.
I am too. I'm really excited to see the starters play at least one series.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish it was against the first team of the Bills, but I get it. I just, especially now that the O line seems to finally be kind of healthy together, it will be nice to see how they play together. I know the O line has been a very scary subject in the preseason so far, but as long as I see some, I don't see insane pass rush and stuff like that from the Bills, I will feel decent about it.
Yeah, if they go in there and they're getting to Bryce, the second team defense is getting to Bryce, every play or getting close. That's not going to feel great.
No,
But I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't either. And I was listening to Mike Kay on the radio
Mm-hmm.
today for the Charlotte Observer talk about how he's seen that the. No, it was Sheena Quick. I am so sorry, Sheena.
Those two are very easily confused.
I am identicals. Um, but she was saying that it seems like after the Jets practice, the offense has finally started to click, and that's when most of the O line started to gel and be all there at the same time. So I'm hoping it's a whole momentum slowly building.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how after you know the fans stop going to practice, it seems like that's kind of when Canales has opened things up a little bit in practice.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're gonna see in the game Saturday in terms of play calling or things like that. I have a feeling it's going to be fairly vanilla. Um, but I mean, we've seen some reverses, some things like that in these preseason games so far, so they may open it up a little bit. But a couple of series, I wouldn't expect much more than get their feet wet a little bit out there, see what things look like in game speed, and hopefully get everybody off the field healthy.
Yeah. I'm very interested. I know that the defense will be out there. I want to see them kind of stop the run. Ray
Hmm.
Davis, the Buffalo Bills backup running back, he's been lighting it up in camp. I believe he's a rookie. So that's someone I want to see how the defense fares against him. I get the second and third string might give up a little bit, but I don't want to see that first string give up hardly anything.
Yeah, last game, Davis 8 runs for rushes for 58 yards. So that's pretty good percentage there. Of course, as we said, Cook probably not going to play. So Ray Davis will be out there for a bit. But yeah, I agree. I think shutting down the run is certainly going to be important. That's going to be, definite thing that the Panthers want to do this season. There's a better word for it. I can't think of it, but that's going to be a concentration, I guess, for them. I'm curious to watch the secondary. This is
Mm-hmm.
something that I'm extremely concerned about. I don't know how long J.C. Horn will play, or even if they will let him play.
That's one starter I'm happy to sit.
Right? Yeah. If they don't let him play, I'm not going to complain about it at all.
I, I
But
I wouldn't hate him being put in bubble wrap flying to Buffalo.
yeah, yeah, I'm excited to talk about that position in our 53 man roster prediction, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I was going through it and I was like, I just don't know. Like when we get down to the third or fourth, fifth guy, like I just don't know. So I'm excited to watch those guys again out there. And again, I've been pleasantly surprised with how the secondary's played in the preseason so
Me
far. I
too.
think they've done a really good job. So that position is not nearly as heart attack inducing for me at the moment, but I do hope that we get to see just really stellar play out of both sides of the field
Hmm.
in this game for the first couple of series while the starters are out there.
Yeah, and I know he's technically a starter, Keon Coleman for the Bills. I kind of want to see
Mm-hmm.
him face up. If J.C. Horn plays, I would love to see that matchup. And I'm kind of curious, anyways, because we drafted Leggett one spot over Buffalo,
Mm-hmm.
and we traded with Buffalo, so they like Coleman so much more. And they're
Yeah.
very similar body types. I'm curious. I would like to see how he plays. And I would like to, on the reverse side, I want to see Leggett. I want to see
Mm-hmm.
him actually get a couple catches, make me see what I'm
Yeah.
hoping for.
Yeah, and Deontay Johnson is sick. He has had a lot of practice sick today, so it's possible he doesn't play.
And that's fine.
Thielen's been dealing with a little thing. He got kicked in the shin or something in practice, so I don't know that that's going to stop him from playing. But it's possible that those guys won't play if there's any doubt, right? And
Mm-mm.
as they should be out if there's any doubt. So Leggett, if he gets the opportunity, could be the guy, right?
Yeah.
He along with Mingo could be those two starting wide receivers. So I agree. Chuba out there with that fresh faced O line, and Sanders as well. Honestly, maybe even more Sanders, just because I'm expecting him to have a bounce back season this year. Obviously, we're not going to see Brooks out there, but yeah, I mean, I'm just excited, man. This is these preseason games have been tough to watch from an
Yeah.
offensive standpoint. They're just not a lot been
And it's
going
so
on.
hard to judge, too, because you're
Right.
like, Jack Plummer's out there. Jake
Yeah.
Luton.
Yeah. By the way, spoiler alert, Jack Plummer did not make the roster on my 53.
What?
Yeah. Luton got cut, right? So, I mean, I don't even think he's going to be out there. So it'll be Bryce. Andy Dalton's supposed to play
Yeah,
from what Canal said.
I've seen Andy Dalton practicing in pads
Yeah.
and stuff like that, so I assumed he would play a little bit.
Yeah.
I
So,
honestly,
I mean,
if he plays two series and it's gone, I'm fine with that too.
yeah, just let Plummer finish the second quarter on basically,
Yeah, I mean,
midway through the second quarter, whatever the case may be. But yeah, honestly, I just want to see a little bit. I want to see something to get me excited, even more excited. I mean, I'm already excited. And if they go out and they shit the bed, I'm still going to be excited. But I really hope that doesn't happen because I want to go into the season with some hope.
eh,
I already have some. I want some more.
yeah, I agree. I would love to see the first team just go out there, score a touchdown on their first drive. They get to sit. Andy Dalton
Yep.
moves a couple drives, get some points, and sit, and then
Yep.
the bottom roster guys can play and try to make the roster. I mean
Right.
that's all I want.
That's it.
And health. I want 100% healthy. I am going for
Yeah.
Buffalo too. Buffalo, you stay healthy too. I don't want anybody injured.
Sure. No injuries at all. I mean, we're never rooting for injuries, but especially not before the first game
Exactly.
even played. So let's keep everybody healthy. Any other thoughts? I mean, there aren't really too many position battles in terms of starters or secondary guys that are gonna be playing out here.
I want to see Leggett, Jonathan Mingo, and Terrace Marshall Jr. I want to see them get some targets. And Jadavion Sanders. Sorry. I want to see him those guys get some targets and
Yeah.
see what they can do. Other than that, that's really all I want.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. And some of the pass rush guys I'd like to see, the guys that we've already been seeing, I'd like to see a little more of those, and we'll talk about those guys here in a few minutes when we go through the roster. But yeah, blocking, couple of plays on offense, a splash play maybe, running backs, and then secondary. Those are my kind of four things that I want to see. And pass rush. Those are the five. So basically every facet of the game I want to make sure that we're watching.
I want offense, I want defense, and I even want to see a special teams play.
Yeah.
Maybe a good run back.
Oh, we're only asking for 3 phases.
3 phases
Right?
of football,
Yeah,
guys.
that's
Come
it.
on.
That's it. And I hope the referees do well too. How about that? Let's just throw everybody in there. All right. Anything else on the game? I mean, there's just not a ton to talk about yet.
No, there's not, and it's preseason, and it's really we're all getting hyped up for the actual games.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
I
It's
am.
coming. All right. Well, let's move on to the 53-man roster. Cuts are going to be starting. I don't know when the final cut date is. It's easy enough to look up, but it's what, like a week before the season starts or something like that. But cuts I know will have to start happening next week, and they'll kind of there's like a day they go down to like 80, and then they go down to 70 or something.
It already started. Did we even talk about Lamar Jackson and
What? No, we haven't talked about them yet. But I mean, I think we're still at 90 or whatever you can have. But some cuts have happened yet. Lamar Jackson, the guy that we both really liked,
yeah,
and thought he's been playing really well, he got cut. Now, supposedly there was some injury concern with him. I'm not sure what. He did get hurt in that second preseason game.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was worse than they thought. But yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, that was. They ended up with an injury agreement. That was sad. I thought he was gonna make the roster and he was gonna have significant playing time. I thought in my head, but
yeah.
No. And August 27th is cut down day.
Okay.
So
okay.
Tuesday.
So Tuesday, yeah. And then also Dillard. That was the running back. Dylan, the running back. Yeah, the running back that we like that rushed
the
for
only
80
running
something
back
yards.
who scored a touchdown.
Yeah, ran really hard. We both liked him. Talked him up. Thought he had a shot to be on the practice squad. Maybe he still does, but cut. He's gone.
And that could be it. They could have cut him because they knew they weren't going to keep him. So maybe another team could bring him into their team and sign him or not. You never know. Yeah. It might be hey, so maybe you could catch on with another team.
Maybe they were giving him that opportunity. Maybe he was a unrestricted free agent, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, kind of unfortunate about Lamar Jackson. That one surprised me a bit. But again, don't really know what that injury was, and I haven't really cared enough to go look and see. So, all right. Well, let's get to. We know some guys are going to get cut. Let's talk about the guys that are going to be here. All right. So quarterback, I don't think we need to go too deep into it. Bryce and Andy, right? We both have those guys. They're keeping 2. Can't imagine that Plummer has impressed anybody enough to stay on the roster. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move to running back.
Running back's not that big of a surprise. Chuba, Miles Sanders, Raheem Blackshear. I don't have Jordan Brooks. I have him on IR for the first part of the season. So I don't know if that means that they'll keep him and then immediately put him on IR, but I think that's what's going to happen with him.
Yeah, I've got him on pup. Yeah. I've got him on pup to start the season, which will mean he'll miss the first 6 games. But yeah, I've got Chuba, Sanders, and Blackshear as well. And then Brooks on pup. And I do not have him counting against the 53. So he was kind of my 54th guy.
Yeah, and that's fine. Yeah. I get that. And some of these guys may get cut and immediately brought back as...
Sure, we've seen it before.
Yeah.
Or they'll make the initial roster and then they'll get cut.
Yeah.
Like F.A. Obata did a few years back. All right, wide receiver, another one that maybe not that crazy. Deontay Johnson, Thielen, Mingo, Leggett, Smith-Marset, TMJ. Those are my 6.
Same.
Okay.
Well,
I don't think that's crazy. David Moore not making it. That's.
I thought
again, I could see him making it, but it seems like not right.
I gave it to Emir Smith-Marset more, just because I think he offers a little bit more in this time of his career than David Moore does.
I think so. Yeah, I think he's got a little more of a skill set there. But if David Moore makes it, not going to hurt my feelings. But I do like Emir Smith-Marset. I do hope he makes it.
Me too. Tight end. Not many questions, I don't think, at this point. Tommy Trimble, Ian Thomas, Jordan Matthews, and Jatavion Sanders.
I have Tommy Trimble, Jatavion Sanders, and Jordan Matthews.
Oh, you purposely cut Ian Thomas?
I believe Ian Thomas will probably make the roster, but I am putting it out in the universe. I just swap Jordan Matthews with Ian Thomas. It's an upgrade, right? Maybe not in blocking, but certainly in pass catching. And we signed $100 million worth of guys to help block. Cut Thomas, get him out of here. Use that $3 million to bring in somebody that got cut from another team.
All right, I could see that, and I could also see it where he gets cut, and then they bring him back for $1 million or something.
That's possible too, but
it saves $2 million in cap. But
yeah, this is my roster. He's not on it.
Okay.
All right. Let's move to the OL.
Oh, good. You did OL and D line too.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I did.
That's how I did it. Yep. So offensive line, we've got Moton, Icky, Hunt, Lewis, Corbett. Those are your starters. Okay. I've got Brady Christensen.
Yep.
Ricky Lee.
I do not have him.
Okay. I got Ricky Lee. Chandler Zavala. I think he's had a pretty good camp. Nijman. And then Cade Mays. So I got 10, I think.
Yeah, I have all those except Ricky Lee, and I do have a blank space here that I said waiver pickup.
Yeah, I kind of, beside Mays, I have a parentheses maybe. So, I could see. I think it's up or down. I think both of those guys are on the bubble. Ricky Lee has not looked great in camp.
No, that's why I couldn't in my right mind put him on this roster with.
And the only reason I do is because
no one else
is going to play left tackle.
That's why I put waiver pickup, because there's got to be somebody that's going to get cut that's at least halfway decent.
I mean, I'm hoping for yours. But I think as of now, I'm just going to put him on the roster and we'll see what happens. All right. D-line?
I did D-line and then I did linebacker edge. So how did you do?
Yeah, D-line and outside linebacker. So
okay.
That's kind of how I did it.
All right, D-line. I'll go ahead and start with my big guys up front. Derek Brown, Shai Tuttle, A'Shawn Robinson. No surprise there.
Yep.
Nick Thurman, TJ Smith makes the roster. I think he's earned it. LeBrian Ray, I made, but that's another place that we have the first waiver wire pickup. If there's somebody that's halfway decent, I could see them taking us to swing at him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have too. I mean, again, there's just not a lot of room to play with
this roster.
That line. I think it's really, really good at the top. Really, the top 4, I think, if you add TJ Smith in there, I'm pretty comfortable with.
I think Nick Thurman's underrated. If I remember him correctly, he's not a flashy guy, but he's going to eat up blockers, and that's his role. That's fine.
I hope so. I mean, he's listed as second string on ESPN, so yeah, I like it. That's what I've got too. So moving to outside linebacker, and we'll see how if this is the way that we've both done it. But Clowney, Wanham, we'll see. Like if he starts the year on PUP or not.
Next to his name.
I'm hoping that he is going to be healthy, but we'll see. DJ Johnson, Chason, and Leota, and then I have someone else. So I'm taking up a roster spot with someone not currently on the team.
Okay. I did not put Chason on there. I did Trevin Wallace and Leota.
Okay, I've got Trevin Wallace in inside linebacker. So I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. And who do you have? Leota. So you've got Clowney, Johnson, Wanham, Leota, and then you've got Trevin. Okay. I thought Chason has looked okay, and I think his pedigree is going to give him a bit of a leg up.
I will say that I could easily see that, but
yeah,
I just
I've got an empty spot there because I do think they need to add someone else. You know,
and if
God forbid, especially if Wanham doesn't start the season, right? If one of them
Yeah,
doesn't start the season, they have to get somebody else.
100%.
Yep. All right, let's move on to inside linebacker. Who you got?
I have Shaw Thompson. I misspelled Shaq. Uh,
Okay, I was like, whoa, who's that?
Josie Jewell. And that's
Yep.
all I have for inside linebacker. Like I said, I did linebacker and edge as a conglomerate. That's why I mentioned Trevin Wallace. But yeah, he would be there.
Yeah, I've got Shaq, Jewel, Trevin, and then I got Tay Davis and Cherilus as well.
The chairless man, that was a guy I debated back and forth.
Yeah. And again, I kind of have both of those guys with question marks beside them, so I could easily see the other way.
And that's another waiver wire type of players.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yep. All right, for corner, I don't know how exciting this is going to be, but we've got J.C. Horn, Dane Jackson, Troy Hill, Shaw Smith Wade, and then I've got Jameson.
I have Horn, Dane Jackson, Michael Jackson, Deshaun Jameson, DiCaprio, Boodle, Troy Hill, and waiver wire.
Wow. Okay. Boodle, I really liked. I couldn't fit him in here. And it's possible that I could drop someone from safety. I've got 4 safeties, but I'd be happy if he made the team. I like him.
Yeah, I think he makes it, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that trade kind of solidified that he's going to be here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I, like I said, I still have a waiver wire right there as a spot because I don't think that they can feel comfortable with Dane Jackson missing 3-4 weeks of the beginning of the season.
Yeah, agreed. And Jackson may go on PUP. That they may just if they think that he isn't going to be ready by like
Dane Jackson will go on PUP. I was looking at the word
yeah.
Michael Jackson and I was
no, Michael Jackson. Oh, you know what? I don't even have Michael Jackson on here. Yeah, I made this before that trade, so shit. All right, add Michael Jackson in there, and then maybe take off my someone from outside linebacker. Okay. All right, let's move to safety. Who you got?
I have Xavier Woods, Jordan Fuller, Nick Scott, and Sam Franklin.
What's Franklin's health situation like? I mean, he broke his foot.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was several weeks ago.
I mean, he might get placed on IR then. Yeah, he did. He's going to be on IR. Never mind. My apologies.
Yeah, I mean, he's listed as like questionable on ESPN, but
a broken foot. Yeah, you're not going to spring back.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he started the season healthy. I've got Jamie Robinson.
Yeah,
in the 4th spot there.
Sam Franklin, you can go. Jamie Robinson, I'll let you take it over. That's a good spot.
Yeah, and Sam Franklin, I hope does come back and is able to play this year at some point. And then special teams, Eddie P, Hecker, JJ Jansen. That's it. That's the 53.
Man, we really almost nailed each other's like.
Well, again, like this is kind of something we've been talking about. Is the team's just not that deep, right? Like you've got your guys, and we disagreed on 3 or 4 spots, and that's it. I mean, and it feels like that's kind of it.
And neither one of us was like arguing about like. Usually we don't argue, but like neither you're like, well, yeah, I could see that too. It was just like, nah. I mean, honestly, you could cut about 10 of these guys and find better pieces out there. A lot of these lower. This is a top-heavy team where the top looks decent, especially if the offense clicks, like the quarterback and wide receivers. But I mean, the rest, it's once you get past that level, it's just really, really lower quality players. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's what we've been saying all season is if they can stay healthy, right? If they can
Mm-hmm.
stay healthy, this team could surprise some people. But once those dominoes start to fall, then it could get ugly real fast.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, look at O line. Okay, once you get
mhm.
past the starters, you got Savala, Brady Christensen, Cade Mays, Yosh Nijaman,
Right.
and
Ugly
Ricky
real
Lee.
fast.
Like
Right.
it drops.
Yeah.
Like I like Brady Christensen, and I think Savala has some talent, but last year he was scary
He was
bad.
awful last year. And again, he has looked better,
Mm-hmm.
in training camp and in the preseason here. So we can definitely hope that he's improving. But yeah, I mean, and Cade May is kind of the same way, just really up and down, right? And he's definitely on the bubble, in my opinion. I'm not sure he makes the team.
The only reason why I put him on the team was the fact that he plays center.
Yeah, that's the reason I put him on there. He's backup center. I mean, I think
I was
even
like
Brady
center guard,
Christensen,
okay.
I think Christensen can play center in a pinch too, but um, just because he's played, multiple positions. But I don't know. I don't know what you do if Corbett goes down again. And it's not an impossible thing, right? Like this guy unfortunately has had some health issues. Um, all right. I mean, yeah, there's nobody that I hate. There's nobody that I'm gonna be excited. Well, other than Dean Thomas, there's nobody that I'm gonna be excited to see get cut, right? Like I'm genuinely rooting for pretty much all of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, this is their dream.
Yeah.
This is the
That,
hardest time as for the coaches and everyone.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Jake Plummer and Ian Thomas. Those are the two that I will not be sorry to see go.
So no one message them on Twitter and be mean when they get cut or cheer. These
No,
guys,
no.
yeah.
I'm gonna go to Ian Thomas's house. Hold up a sign.
You're gonna pop champagne like you're gonna. What is it? Where they use the sword?
Yeah.
The saber the champagne glass right over.
I'm
Thomas.
I'm gonna learn to twerk so I can do it.
Oh, that is going to be a bet this season. The loser
no.
has to twerk
No,
on camera or attempt
no,
to twerk.
it is not,
Oh
Jerry.
yeah. Okay. Any listeners who are still listening and you want to see one of us twerk for if they lose.
Oh my God. Nobody wants to see that, Jerry. I promise.
I will laugh so hard. Oh God. I always lose. What are you talking about? It does seem like I always lose.
That's
these.
true. That's true. Maybe I should make that bet. I don't want to see you twerk though, so it would be we both lose. All right, that's gonna do it.
We want to thank everyone for listening. If you like the show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at MeowMixPodcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. If you leave us a 5-star review with a comment on Apple Podcasts, we'll read it on the show.
We'll be back either Saturday evening or Sunday sometime to talk about the game, and if some major injuries happen to some of these guys sort of close to the bottom of the roster, we may revise some of our 53. But outside of that, let's just pray for no injuries and pray for a good showing from the Panthers' first team. Until next time, everybody stay safe out there and keep pounding.